Hello all, welcome to this lecture session on fluid dynamics. We are going to see the initial properties of the basics of fluid dynamics, and we had seen how the Bernoulli's equation is being derived. Then what are the various basics of fluid dynamics, what are the various equations related to Bernoulli's theorem for an ideal fluid, and what are the various assumptions made in the Bernoulli's theorem. So depending on that, we are going to solve some problems based on this. So we have mentioned that this is a fluid dynamics part 2, and in this particular system we are going to see that what are the various conditions given to us to solve the problem, and also how the solution has been carried out for all these problems. Okay, so my name is Sawan Vani. I am assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering in Padma Bhushan Vasantrao Dada Patil Institute of Technology, Budgaon. Also, there is a request for all of you to kindly subscribe our YouTube channel for receiving more and more videos related to this, because we are learning the lecture sessions on fluid mechanics and fluid and turbo machinery. Okay, so let's go for our first problem based on the fluid dynamics. Basically, these all problems, as we have mentioned, they are all related to the various conditions in day-to-day life, how the particular Bernoulli's equation is achieved for that particular condition. So let's go for our first problem. So the question is, water flows in a circular pipe. At one section, the diameter is 0.3 meters, the static pressure is 260 kilopascal, that is gauge, the velocity is 3 meters per second, and the elevation is 10 meters above ground level. The elevation at a section downstream is 0 meters and the pipe diameter is 0.15 meter. Find out the gauge pressure at the downstream section. Frictional effects may be neglected and assume density of water to be 999 kg per meter cube. Okay, so guys, see, as we have seen in the earlier lectures, that due to the size of the problem is more, there are chances that the students may not solve these types of problems. But if you define, or if you just distribute this problem in number of sentences and understand the meaning of this problem, then it is very easy for us to understand and find the solution of this problem. Okay, so see, the water is flowing in a circular pipe, means there is a circular pipe through which the water is flowing. So now we know that the fluid containing here is water and the pipe is of circular nature. Then at one section the diameter is 0.3 meters. Okay, so at one point, that is in the circular pipe, at one point the diameter is 0.3 meters, and at that particular point the static pressure is 260 kilopascal, that is gauge, and velocity is 3 meters per second. Okay, and what is the elevation? Elevation is 10 meters above ground level. So the point at which the diameter is 0.3 meter, at that point pressure is 260 kilopascal, velocity is 3 meters per second, and the elevation is 10 meters above the ground level. Okay, second, the elevation at a section downstream is 0 meters, means 0 meters elevation means that the second section is at ground, and the pipe diameter is 0.15 meters. Find out the gauge pressure at the downstream section. So we have to find out how much amount of pressure is there at that particular point. So due to this, we will see how to find out, and assume the frictional effects are neglected and density of water is to be taken as 999 kg per meter cube. So this is the given data and the diagram of that particular point which are given in our problem. So here the diameter is 0.3 meters. Second is the actual, it is a downstream, so there is elevation is 0. This elevation is 10 meters, that is center of the section 1. Elevation is 0 at section 2, so it is directly at ground level, and that diameter is 0.15 meters, and P1 gauge pressure is at inlet is 260 kilopascals. So referring to the figure, diameter D1 is 0.3 meters, D2 is 0.15 meter, Z1 is 0 because here the elevation is particularly not given to us. Then Z2 is 10 initially. So guys, see here, there is one change here. Z1 is 10 meters, Z2 is 0 because at 0.2 elevation is 0. P1 is 260 kilopascal, V1 is 3 meters per second, and rho is 999 kg per meter cube. So just do a change here. Z1 is 10, Z2 is 0. From continuity equation A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2, we have to take into consideration this particular value, that V2 is equal to A1 by A2 into V1, right? Considering this continuity equation, that is A1 V1 equal to A2 V2, we get V2 is equal to A1 into V1 divided by A2, so that is also equal to A1 by A2 into V1. So A1 is nothing but pi by 4 D1 square, A2 is nothing but pi by 4 D2 square into V1 is kept as it is. Okay, so what we have to find now here is pi by 4 and pi by 4 gets cancelled, so D1 square divided by D2 square into V1, so we get here D1 square, D1 by D2 bracket square into V1, so D1 is 0.3, D2 is 0.15 bracket square into 3, V1 is 3. So we get this as 12 meters per second. So the velocity, naturally we are getting that particular quantity of V2 as 12 meters per second. So see, basically depending upon the continuity equation here, V1 was 3 because the diameter was larger, and we know that as diameter is more, velocity is less, and at second section diameter is less, so naturally the velocity would be more, so it is 12 meters per second. Weight density of water we have to find out, so W is equal to rho g, so rho is 999, g is 9.81, so we get this as 9800.90 Newton per meter cube, but natural value we know for water, it is 9810 Newton per meter cube. Now from Bernoulli's equation applying at sections 1 and 2, neglecting friction effects as given in the problem, so this is the Bernoulli's equation is there for the ideal fluid, so P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G plus Z1 is equal to P2 by W plus V2 square by 2G plus Z2. So here we get this equation in terms of the values which are given to us here now. Now P1 is 260, so kilopascal, converting it into pascal, so 260 into 1000 divided by W is nothing but 9800.19, so that is P1 by W plus V1 square. V1 square is 3 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z1, then is equal to P2 divided by 9800.19, that is again W, V2 square, that is 12 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z2. So here we know this Z2 is 0, as we have just wrongly written here. Z1 is 10, Z2 is 0. Therefore, when we evaluate this, we get P2 is equal to 290,566 Newton per meter square. So we get this as 290.56 kilopascal. So that is the value of the gauge pressure at the downstream section, that is at section 2. So the value of P2 is 290.56 kilopascal. Okay, going for the second problem now, based on the Bernoulli's theorem, that is for ideal fluids. So the second problem, the water is flowing through a tapering pipe having diameters 300 mm and 150 mm at sections 1 and 2 respectively. The discharge through the pipe is 40 liters per second. The section 1 is 10 meters above datum and section 2 is 6 meters above datum. Find the intensity of pressure at section 2 if that at section 1 is 400 kilonewton per meter square. So again a simple problem is given. So first again we will read out the problem first, and then we will just distribute this problem into sentences, and then we will see the solution, right? So the water is flowing through a tapering pipe. So as the name indicates that the pipe is a tapering type, then this type of pipe is having two cross sections. Like one cross section it is at higher diameter and second is at lower. So they are having some diameters. At section 1 it is 300 mm, at section 2 it is 150 mm. The discharge through the pipe is 40 liters per second, means the average discharge through the pipe is 40 liters per second. The section 1 is 10 meters above datum and section 2 is 6 meters above datum. So Z1 and Z2 values are also given to us. What we have to find is the intensity of pressure at section 2, means again we have to find the value of P2. If the section 1 pressure is 400 kilonewton per meter square, that is given to us. So again the diagram will be as it is here, same diagram as compared to the last problem, only now the value of Z2 is 6 meters. Okay, in last problem Z2 was 0, but here Z2 will be 6 meters and Z1 is 10. So from the diagram you will see that one point is there having a larger diameter and point number 2 is there at a lower diameter. So at larger diameter, the diameter value is D1 is equal to 300 mm and the value of pressure P1 is 400 kilonewton per meter square, and it is from the datum line it is 10 meters above. Then at section 2, diameter D2 is 150 mm. Then Z2 value, that is from datum, Z2 is 6 meters, and therefore we have to find the value of P2. So again we have to apply the Bernoulli's equation for this, and then it will be able to find out the values. Now another value which is given to us, that is discharge. So first we will see the given. Now at section 1, as diameter is 300 mm, so it is converted into meter as 0.3 meters. But now for calculating area, A1 will be equal to pi by 4 D1 square. So pi by 4 into 0.3 square. So we get the value of A1 as 0.0707 meter square. P1 is given to us as 400 kilonewton per meter square. Okay. Height of upper end above the datum Z1 is 10 meters. We have just now seen this. At section 2, diameter is 150 mm. So here again converting that into meters, we get this value as 0.15 meter. So area A2 will be pi by 4 into D2 square. So pi by 4 into 0.15 square. So we get this value as 0.01767 meter square. Height of lower end above the datum Z2 is 6 meters. Okay. Now rate of flow. Now guys see, for calculating this rate of flow, 40 liters per second is the value given to us. So it is very easy for us to find out the velocities at section 1 and 2, because we know the area, and by continuity equation Q is equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So first Q will be 40 liters per second. So converting that into first SI unit system, so this liters per second, it is equal to 40 into 10 raised to 3. So this is converting that particular value in meter cube and per second. So therefore dividing by 10 raised to 6, or it is very easy for us to find out this liters per second, only multiply this by 10 raised to minus 3. So then we get this value as 0.04 meter cube per second. This is the value of Q. Now intensity of pressure at section 2, that is P2. So we know Q is equal to continuity equation A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So if you take Q is equal to A1 V1, so V1 will be equal to Q divided by A1. So Q is 0.04. A1 is 0.0707. So we get this value V1 as 0.566 meters per second. So this is the value of velocity at section 1. Now guys see, as this is a tapering tube, naturally the velocity will be maximum at section 2. So let's see while calculating if we get the velocity V2 greater than the value of V1. Okay. So the remaining solution is here. V2 is equal to Q divided by A2. So 0.04 divided by 0.01767. So we get this value of V2 as 2.264 meter per second, which is higher than the value of V1. Applying Bernoulli's equation at sections 1 and 2, again Bernoulli's equation is related with ideal compressible incompressible fluids. So P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G plus Z1 is equal to P2 by W plus V2 square by 2G plus Z2. So we have to find the value of P2 by W, right? So for that again, we have to see how to calculate the value of W again. So we have directly written here as W will be equal to, again considering water. So now we will consider the density of water as 1000. So naturally specific weight of water becomes 9810 Newton per meter cube or 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. So now P2 by W equal to, we are rearranging this above equation. So P2 by W will be equal to P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G. This V2 square by 2G going in the left hand direction, we will get as negative. So V1 square by 2G minus V2 square by 2G plus Z1 will remain as it is. Z2 going at left hand side will become negative. So P2 by W equal to P1 by W plus bracket v1 square by 2g minus v2 square by 2g plus bracket z1 minus z2. So P1 is 400. We are keeping it as it is in kilonewton, or you can convert this into Newton also. Divided by W 9.81. This is in kilonewton per meter cube. Plus V1 plus here we can say V1 square P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G. Right. So here 1 divided by 2G is taken as it is. So 2 into 9.81. Here V1 is 0.566. So 0.566 square minus 2.264 square plus 10 minus 6. So now you will see here that your 40.77 minus 0.245 plus 4, so we get this value as 44.525 meters. So this is P2 by W value. Okay, so the value is of P2 by W, that is the pressure head at section 2, but we have to find the intensity of pressure at section 2. So P2 will be equal to 44.525 into W. So W is again 9.81. So P2 will be equal to 436.8 kilonewton per meter square. So this is the value of intensity of pressure at section 2. Now problem number 3. There is a pipe 200 meter long, slopes down in 1 at 100 in 100 and tapers from 600 mm diameter at the higher end to 300 mm diameter at the lower end, and carries 100 liters per second of oil of having specific gravity 0.8. If the pressure gauge at the higher end reads 60 kilonewton per meter square, determine first velocities at two ends and second pressure at the lower end. Neglect all the losses. Okay, so we will again read out the question first, then we will distribute this question in number of sentences, and then we will see how the problem solution has been derived. There is a pipe of 200 meter long. It slopes down at 1 in 100 and tapers from 600 mm diameter at higher end and 300 mm diameter at lower end. Okay, so at inlet you will see there is a diameter of 600 mm at section 1, and at outlet, that is at the lower end, the diameter is 300 mm. And discharge, it carries 100 liters per second of oil which is having a specific gravity of 0.8. So see, in this problem water is not given, so we require specific gravity of oil, so that is 0.8. So oil is flowing through this pipe. If the pressure gauge at the higher end reads 60 kilonewton per meter square, so here see that where the diameter is 600 mm, at that point the pressure is 60 kilonewton per meter square. So what we have to do is we have to determine the velocities at both ends, that is at section 1 and section 2, who is having the diameter of 600 mm and 300 mm, and also we have to find the intensity of pressure at the lower end, that is at section 2. Neglect all the losses. So basically, while forming the solution of this problem, first see the diagram again. Again here you will see that the lower end is in the ground. So again diameter D1 is 600 mm, P1 is 60 kilonewton per meter square, that is intensity of pressure at 1. Then P2 we have to find diameter at the lower section is 300 mm, and the slope is 1 in 100, so that is the tapered slope which is given to us, and it is carrying a oil of having the discharge as 100 liters per second and having specific gravity as 0.8. So in this, the solution of this particular problem now is, length of pipe is given to us, that is 200 mm. Okay, here length of pipe 200 meter is given to us. Then diameter of pipe at higher end is 600 mm, that is 0.6 meter. Area is equal to pi by 4 into 0.6 square, so we get this value as 0.283 meter square. Then diameter of the pipe at the lower end, D2 is 300 mm, which is 0.3 meter. So it will be very easy for us to calculate A2. So A2 equal to pi by 4 into 0.3 square. So we get this value as 0.0707 meter square. See guys, area at one section diameter is more, so area 0.283 meter square. Diameter at lower end is 0.3 meters, so therefore A2 is 0.0707 meter square. Height at the higher end, that is above the datum. So how to calculate this? The taper is 1 in 100. So Z1 will be 1 divided by 100 into 200, because the length of the pipe is 200. So therefore Z1 is 2 meters. Height of the lower end above datum, Z2 will be 0, because the slope is 1 in 100. So therefore the actual value will start from the ground level. So here it is 0. Rate of oil flow, that is Q equal to 100 liters per second. So it is equal to 0.1 meter cube per second. Pressure at higher end P1 is 60 kilonewton per meter square. So as per continuity equation, Q is equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So we can find out the value of V1 and V2 by using these equations. So V1 will be equal to Q divided by A1. Q is 0.1. A1 is 0.283, which we have calculated here. So we get this velocity as 0.353 meters per second. Again, see guys that as diameter at section 1 is more, so the velocity will be less as compared to the velocity at section 2. So V1 value is 0.353 meters per second. Now for V2 is Q divided by A2. So Q is again 0.1 and V2 is 0.0707. So we get the value of V2 as 1.414 meters per second. And now finally we have to find the pressure at lower end, that is P2. So at inlet it is given to us the value as 60 kilonewton per meter square. So we have to find the value at the section 2. So again, using Bernoulli's equation for the ideal incompressible fluids, P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G plus Z1 is equal to P2 by W plus V2 square by 2G plus Z2. So in this equation, we are using W now as for oil, because water is not given here. Through this pipe, oil is flowing, having specific gravity as 0.8. So how to calculate this specific weight? We know P1 is 60, keeping this value in kilonewton per meter square only, divided by W. So what will be W? W will be specific weight of water, that is specific gravity of water 0.8 into 9810 Newton per meter cube. But now we are taking the value in kilonewton. So 0.8 into 9.81 plus V1 square will be 0.353 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z1 is 2 is equal to P2 we have to calculate divided by 0.8 into 9.81. Again this value is in kilonewton per meter cube plus V2 square, that is 1.414 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z2 is 0, because the section 2 is at the ground level. So we get this value when we evaluate, we get 7.64 plus 0.00635 plus 2 is equal to P2 divided by 0.8 into 9.81 plus 0.102. So taking this 0.102 in left hand side, we get here P2 divided by 0.8 into 9.81 is equal to 9.54 meters. And so the final value in kilonewton per meter square, we get P2 is equal to 74.8 kilonewton per meter square. So this is the solution for this problem. Now one last problem, problem number 4. Water is flowing through a pipe having diameter 600 mm and 400 mm at the bottom and upper end respectively. The intensity of pressure at the bottom end is 350 kilonewton per meter square and the pressure at the upper end is 100 kilonewton per meter square. Determine the difference in datum head if the rate of flow through the pipe is 60 liters per second. So now guys see, in this problem the condition given is different now. Okay, the higher diameter section is at lower end and the lower diameter section is at higher end. So you can see the pipe is now tapering in the upper direction. So here inlet diameter is 600 mm. In this problem the outlet diameter given is 400 mm. So we can write D1 is 600 mm, D2 is 400 mm at the bottom and at the upper end. Intensity of pressure at bottom end is 350 kilonewton per meter square. So we can write P1 is equal to 350 kilonewton per meter square, and the pressure at the upper end is 100 kilonewton per meter square. So P2 is equal to 100 kilonewton per meter square. The value of Q is also given here. That is how much water is flowing through this particular pipe. 60 liters per second is the flow through this pipe. And what we have to find is difference in datum head if the rate of flow through the pipe is 60 liters per second. So what we have to find now here is difference in datum head, means Z2 is at higher state. So Z2 minus Z1. What is the difference between these particular datum heads? That we have to find. So D1 is 600 mm. Converting it into meter, 0.6 meters. A1 is equal to pi by 4 D1 square. So pi by 4 into 0.6 square. We get this as 0.283 meter square. P1 is 350 kilonewton per meter square. So kept as it is. At section 2, diameter D2 is equal to 400 mm. So converting that into meter, it is 0.4 meter. So area at section 2, A2 is equal to pi by 4 D2 square. So pi by 4 into 0.4 square is equal to 0.1257 meter square. Pressure P2 is given as 100 kilonewton per meter square. Rate of flow is given to us as 60 liters per second. So 60 divided by 1000, it will be 0.06 meter cube per second. From continuity equation, we have Q equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2, right? So based on that, we have to find the various values of velocities. So let V1 is the velocity at section 1 and V2 is the velocity at section 2. So therefore V1 will be equal to Q divided by A1. So Q is 0.06 divided by 0.283. So we get V1 as 0.212 meter per second. Now again see guys that the diameter is larger at section 1. So the velocity will be lower as compared to section 2. So V2 will be equal to Q divided by A2. So is equal to 0.06 divided by 0.1257 is equal to 0.477 meters per second. So see guys, as compared to V1, the value of V2 is larger because the diameter at section 2 is lower as compared to diameter of section 1. So applying Bernoulli's equation at sections 1 and 2. So again this Bernoulli's equation is for ideal incompressible fluids. So P1 by W plus V1 square by 2G plus Z1 is equal to P2 by W plus V2 square by 2G plus Z2. So P1, just keeping these values in kilonewton only, P1 is 350. So again this value of W will be 9810 Newton per meter cube. So it is 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. So 350 by 9.81 plus V1 square. So it is 0.212 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z1. So Z1 is unknown here because we have to find Z2 minus Z1 is equal to P2 is given as 100 kilonewton per meter square divided by again 9.81 that is specific weight of water in kilonewton per meter cube. So 100 divided by 9.81 plus V2 is 0.477. So 0.477 square divided by 2 into 9.81 plus Z2. Okay. So rearranging this above equations. First we get 35.67 plus 0.00323 plus Z1 is equal to 10.19 plus 0.0116 plus Z2. So when we rearrange these above equations, we get Z2 minus Z1 as 25.47 meters. This is the value because we don't know that what is the distance of Z1 from the datum line and what is the distance of Z2 from the datum line. So therefore we were supposed to find out the difference between these two datums. So as per the given values, the difference between the datums, that is Z2 minus Z1, that is the distance between upper and lower datum, is equal to 25.47 meters. Okay. So see guys, we have completed these problems on the Bernoulli's equation for ideal incompressible fluids. In next point, we are going to see the various equation of Bernoulli's theorem which are related to real fluids, and also we have to see the applications of Bernoulli's theorem. There are various applications of Bernoulli's theorem like venturi meter, orifice meter, notch, pitot tube, rotameter, etc. So these all are dependent on the basic Bernoulli's equation. So if in this up till now we have seen that the ideal incompressible fluids, the Bernoulli's equation used for this type of fluids are just an ideal condition fluids. Okay, so when we are going to see the next point, we are going to consider losses in these all problems. We have not considered any losses. In some problems directly the wording was given as neglect all losses. So considering no any losses, we have solved these problems. So also it will be helpful for you to solve the problems in gate examinations, then the competitive examinations like UPSC and MPSC, and also it will be helpful for you to learn this lecture series one by one. So you can it is request to all to subscribe our YouTube channel also, and also follow our lectures from time to time. If you have any doubts, you can post on the chat box of YouTube also. Thank you very much.